For number 17 and 16, they've both come from the youth policy as well. Number 11, listen inside the fullback, he will like to get forward, and unfortunately Buffon is not playing, but the young goalkeeper, he kept 3 clean sheets last season.
For Everton, we mentioned the 2 players, Marouane Fellaini and Leighton Baines, who may be on their way out, but both starting tonight.
Yeah, and as you would expect with Leighton Baines, he's slotted into left back. Great to see Tim Howard, he'll be in the nets, talking about Sylvain Distin, Jagielka, Fellaini, as we spoke about, and watch out for number 4, Gibson as well. And Pienaar is a player that will enjoy playing in this free role.
And of course, Tim Howard, the American starting in goal, got the biggest roar of the crowd. He got the second biggest when the lineups were introduced, Carlos Tevez. And Tim Howard always enjoys his trips home, he says. Never quite able to enjoy it as much as she'd like, because obviously a lot of important responsibilities to prepare for the season, as the 2 stand-in captains for this evening shaking hands with our officials down below as we get set for this match. Our referee, Ricardo Salazar, interestingly, was the referee on the other high-profile visit Everton had in 2009 when they played the MLS All-Stars. It was Salazar as the ref for that match. Everton beating the MLS All-Stars in penalty kicks that night. Marouane Fellaini, where will he be ending up by month's end when the transfer window closes? And, of course, Aruna Kone leading one of those set of 3 players from Wigan, just in case they need to plug that hole. It'll be Everton in the blue as ever. Juventus changing it up. Their new away color this season is yellow. And again, you saw there the natural grass laid over the infield dirt here at AT&T Park, the normal home of the San Francisco Giants, winners of 2 of the last 3 World Series, and a lovely setting on San Francisco Bay. Just a beautifully clear, if not slightly cold evening in the Bay Area right at the end of July. First stateside match of this year's Guinness International Champions Cup is underway. Everton and Juventus from AT&T Park in San Francisco. An opportunity for both of these teams, Warren, to really get the preseason off in earnest. They've each had matches back home, but now's an opportunity to start really testing some things out. Yeah, definitely, and testing straight away is the formation for Everton. They've gone to 3 at the back, which under David Moyes it was always a 4-4-1-1. Now we're looking with Roberto Martinez. It's a new era. 3 at the back. Michiba will be there, and as I said with Pienaar, he'll be that player that's just in the hole. So it's a great test. I mean, preparation, fitness, but you only get it from playing games. So Islo there. Without tackle off the ball, but it's going to be a free kick for Juventus. And you mentioned that there's something when we had a chance to sit and talk with Roberto Martinez yesterday, he kept using the word flexibility. That was his code for this balance of wanting to respect and maintain what David Moyes did, wanting to bring in his own ideas. How much of a challenge does he have walking that tightrope?
I think he has a huge challenge because David Moyes had been there a long time and also been very successful. And I think players like their roles. They like to know what their jobs are. And when they're asked to do different positions, you're judged on results. If it all goes well, it's fine. This 3 at the back, midfield, players in the hole, that's fine. That can work. But as long as you're doing well and you're retaining the ball, and Roberto Martinez has always spoke about that, keeping the ball, have possession of the ball. But we know Juve, John, great technique, keep the ball, great contact, and they're winners. They love to win their game.
Angelo Ogbonna, the center of the 3 in the back, playing long and too far for Fernando Llorente, and Tim Howard too. A nice smattering of applause getting involved for the first time tonight.
And he was great, Tim, yesterday talking.
Fellaini, a loose pass there, but the return up for Tevez. And Vidal was easily intercepted. Phil Jagielka with the step up. Pienaar trying to combine an Ichibi. He hold off Ogbonna. Everton will have the throw.
Yeah, just with Tim, as he said, he's pleased to be here. He wants his team to do well. Preparation is important. He's speaking very highly of David Moyes.
And for Howard now, also said it's their job, all of them, as professionals, to buy into what Roberto Martinez is telling them, regardless of the results, regardless of whether or not they like it and how much they like David Moyes. It's their job to respect their new manager.
Yeah, you do that as a player. I mean, coaches leave, they move on, and yeah, there's 1 or 2 days where you feel a little bit sorry and you're trying to find out where you're going and what you're doing, but you get on with it. And this is all about. Come away from the Sunni where you are, you can come here, you can relax, you can go out, you can play your football. As I said, it's the first time really that major players can go into games without feeling the pressure. All you've got to worry about as a player is your fitness.
Stefan Lichtsteiner trying to build out of the back for Juventus, and now Federico Peluso. Fofana, who just signed from crosstown rivals Torino in July. Again, Lichtsteiner. Aluso. Step up there on the outside. Seamus Coleman there, trying to force it free. Comes to nothing, though, for Everton.
I'd be interested, John, with Leighton Baines, because it does suit him to be a back four as a fullback. He's quite happy just to be as a back four, but now he's asked to be a wing back. I don't know whether he's got the pace to go up and down. I think he's technically an excellent player, one that's been linked with big clubs, but he's a fullback that likes to just hold in his position and go forward. He's not going to get up and down as you would have liked.
Darren Gibson looking to play long up the wing. It's Coleman making the run out there. Also defending and shepherded in behind for a goal kick.
He'll be one to look to impress. Seamus Coleman. He can play in numerous positions. Roberto Martinez will know all about these players. That's one area that is a plus for him. He's not a foreign coach coming in. He's played against these players. He knows their style. He knows the mentality of the club. And I think that's important.
He should be there, just fouled as he was trying to hold off Ogbonna. Victor Anichebe. He's been with Everton since his youth. Joined the reserves at 15, became a professional a few years later as Leighton Baines gets the cross in. Good defensive header away there. That was DeChela coming up. Pinar. It's well intercepted. A second chance at it, though. Takes the hit, and it's going to be an Everton free kick there. As Pinar was just caught. Samoa trying to make the run forward. And there he is, Roberto Martinez. It was a successful year, and it wasn't at the same time with Wigan, but obviously they're very excited to be bringing him in. Replacing David Moyes, who was their longest tenured manager since the 1960s.
Very unusual, though, for managers to get relegated and then go into Europe. I know he won the FA Cup and he'd done an outstanding job at Wigan, keeping them up for many years, but it was going down. But expectations are high at Everton. The standards have been set. A big challenge for him.
Everton now looking to fire on this free kick. You saw the goalkeeper Marco Storari, the number 2 for Juventus, giving the start this evening. And Ricardo Salazar eventually gets us going. That's deflected by the wall. Almost fell for an Ichibi. It's cleared wide for an Everton throw.
Yeah, we know Leighton Baines, he can strike it, but the wall was strong, it was big. Just the opening period, John. It's only in 6 minutes going into 7 minutes, but Everton have retained the ball very well. That will please the coach.
Baines in for Fellaini. We'll be saying that about Everton for too much longer. And another free kick here in a good position as Pinar goes down.
He's causing them problems, Pinar, because he's got that freedom. He's trying to pick the ball up. Who says it's a pre-season friendly? It was shoving the back there. I think Carlos Tevez would have went down if it was roles reverse.
Tevez making that €10 million move.
Honestly, John, in today's market, that's a bargain for someone like him. They're leaving the space. Look at Juve, just leaving that space. Once you've got them well drilled, there's a big area for the ball just being played in. You time your run well.
The in-swinger, and it's going to be in. And Everton have the opening goal of the match. Now the flag is up on the far side, and this is interesting. The question is whether or not Jagielko touched that ball or if it came through on its own. And it's going to be given as offside. Salazar just consulted with his linesman there.
Yeah, correct call. He was already in there, Jagielko. If he doesn't touch it, but he is interfering, he has made an attempt to play the ball. It was awful defending from Juve. The gap was too big.
Well, we saw a situation almost exactly like that in an MLS match a couple of weeks ago with the LA Galaxy, trying to make that split-second decision of is the player actively involved or not.
But I think he's made an attempt to play the ball. That's the difference. If he just stands there and leaves it, then the official has to make a call. But with the attempt to actually play the ball, that's where the goalkeeper's actually made a move. And then, in my opinion, you're affecting the play.
Sahari was at 22 starts a couple of seasons ago when Buffon came back from the World Cup with a back injury, but Played just 9 games the last 2 years, the number 2 for Juventus. Well, he was beaten there, but gets a reprieve. Baines again, Fellaini. Bit of a handball there, and Vidal. Baines gets away, his cross into the center. Morales was trying to control it there in the traffic. Held in though, Gibson.
Can't believe how much Juve are giving the ball away. It's supposed to be technically good. Look, I'm closing down. It's good work by Everton. They're really good, being on the front foot, on the ascendancy. It's good football.
Gibson off a lovely touch from Pinar, and ATT holding it up. Gibson just hacks at it there as it was deflected away. Asamoah trying to break for Juventus now. It's Llorente on the outside. Left their match last week in the preseason with a head injury, but is back out there now. Asamoah on the overlap. The cross blocked. Looking on Coleman. Dropped off for Tejela. Morone's effort from distance, and Tim Howard has it easy enough. Well, Keith Costigan down on the field, of course, for us tonight. It's a bit of a unique field. What are the conditions like down there?
Well, thanks, guys. Well, I actually caught up with the Everton coaches during the warm-up, and they said they're relatively happy with the playing surface. They did mention the area in front of the goal. Everton, our defending, was a bit choppy, and the field was a bit narrower than they probably would like, given that they play with wing-backs. But overall, they had no real major complaints about the playing surface, given that this is, of course, a baseball stadium. Guys?
Yeah, and it is the turf that was laid over the infield dirt. And you mentioned the width, about 68 yards when we measured it out earlier. Jamming it into this baseball park. And the wind that's out there obviously affect things a bit as well here on the waterfront. You know, to your point earlier, Warren, you made it is a preseason friendly, and the managers barely like to call it a game. They tend to call it an exercise. But for these competitive players, can they ever switch off completely from being competitive out there?
Not once that whistle goes. No, there's no doubt. You maybe more relaxed beforehand. You're going through the warm-up, the preparation. But as soon as you start coming out the tunnel, as soon as you start getting on the field and shaking hands, you know you're in business. You're there to play. You get paid to do that, and then you're focused. And this is what you want, John. You train maybe the day of the morning, training tomorrow, double sessions. What you want to do is get good preparation. This is where you're judged, not what you do in the training session. This is where you get judged.
John Stones just playing the ball across. He was with England at the Under-20 World Cup recently. There's Sylvain Distin, the veteran. Pinar picks it up. Looked away from behind Arturo Vidal. Tracking back. We spent some time with him yesterday at the Juventus Hotel. And then Gibson is fouled. Baines up for an inch, but he couldn't quite hold it up, and he is in a real wrestling matchup there with.
But he shouldn't do that. He doesn't need to do that, John. The problem with him, he wants to fight everybody. Just keep hold of the ball. You look at the top strikers, they never get involved in the battle. They just pin people in, bring people into the game. That's one area he needs to work on, because every time he gets it, he wants to fight the defenders. You can't do that. The referee will either blow a whistle or you keep giving the ball away. He's got a big season ahead of him.
Play long here for Tevez to chase to stand the defender.
And just looking at Juve as well. They haven't got anyone that's going to go in behind you. And I'm speaking to Sylvain Distin before the game. They're quick, the back line of Everton. So Juve players, you can have it to feet. You're never going to hurt me. You're not going to go in behind me. So you can afford to squeeze a little bit on the game, which allowing Gibson and Fellaini to push up further.
It does seem like both teams are squeezing us in a pretty small area of the pitch throughout a lot of this.
At least with Everton, when they go forward, he's got pace. Morales has got pace. Pinar's got pace. They can hurt you.
All over the top to Chela. Trying to chase it down in the corner. The ball's moving quick on the dirt. Samoa. That is showing. It's Vidal who picks it up. Always pass, then block. Fellaini pressuring all the way to midfield. For Storari, the goalkeeper. Arturo Vidal, the Chilean international. It's cut out at least momentarily by Distin. Vidal back to it. Takes the hit. We play on. And Ichibi then takes the hit. And it's a free kick for Everton. And Ichibi barking about it there. Ricardo Salazar. Does he show a card or not in the preseason match?
I think they talked about here as well. There's a free kick, but referees let the game go. For me, it is a free kick. Pinar's got away with that. Just left his foot dangling. But you talk about Fellaini, about moving on, going on with his career to a bigger club. I look around and I'm not sure, is he a Chelsea player? Is he a Manchester City player?
He used to be there in a little collision on the edge of the area with Bono. Referee says play on.
Is he one of them players that's going to go up to the next level, if you like?
Samoa, Teixeira, Tevez. Next to turn inside. And for Morone. In the place of Andrea Pirlo at the start tonight. Samoa shooting from distance and blocked. And John Stones.
This is where he does well. He pins him, he's away. And again, the referee's been very lenient. For me, that's a foul, because with Amajibi, he's had a go at the referee. Sometimes we know with this referee, John, he takes things personal. There are a lot of dealings with him in the MLS.
In the middle there by Everton to keep the ball. That was Coleman, weaving his way through all that traffic. And again with Fellaini and with Baines spending time around Everton yesterday, they are very honest about the fact they don't have the financial firepower other big clubs have. So what can they do to try to keep these players that are interesting to other clubs?
Give them bigger wages. Quite simple. It's quite simple. Players are playing regular. They're enjoying their football. You can go to a big club, but you might only play a third of the games or half the games. Here, they know week in, week out, they're going to play. They're both international players. They've not got to worry about that. They've got a World Cup coming up, so they want to be playing regular to get prepared. And the new coach, as I know he would do, would say, just give me a season, give me a chance. And then from there we're building it. Because as I said, from his point of view, he wants to keep his best players because he knows he wants to go forward, he wants to take his club forward in a certain manner, in a certain style of football. You need to keep them players.
And they clip it over the top, but good find Morales who dropped deep there. Morales will now get it off the head of Darren Gibson. For Anichebe, if he can get across in time, he can't, and that's his touch last. It's going to be a goal kick.
He was a player as well, Conte. He knows, drilled at the back, organised. He learnt from one of the best, Lippi.
44th birthday today as well, Antonio Conte. Very honest, very thoughtful when we met with him yesterday. And
he weren't like that as a player. He used to kick me. Playing against him. It was an honour playing against him, but what a team that was as well with Zidane, Del Piero.
Very, very complimentary as well as someone who's been coming to the U.S. for a long time, dating back to the '94 World Cup, continually impressed, he said, by how much the game has grown here. And they really do. I mean, again, a club like Juventus can go anywhere they want pre-season, and they elect to come to the United States, and that's worth something.
Well, as Jurgen Klinsmann said, you can't stop it now. The game's growing. You can't stop it. People may try, they may put their 2 pennies worth in and try and destroy it, but it's going.
Just under some pressure here from Vidal. Needs some help down there in that corner, and gets bailed out with a goal kick.
He looks exactly the same as he did 12 years ago, 10 years ago when he came to Newcastle. Good feet, a model professional. He knew exactly what he was doing. He is quick as well, still quick.
Loca's long ball. That's the foot tatter, and HB couldn't get across in time. And Samoa heavy off the chest, and was trying to play it wide.
I think that's where they've been poor, Juve. I think Conte will be looking at that midfield area. They haven't really the sharpness of play. And again, that's pre-season. We understand that. But that first touch makes it so easy for you as a player.
Looking over the top, Miller making the run, and comfortably into Tim Howard. Step there by the left back, Caluso, and now he'll play it through. It's Vidal making the run. Fellaini's on it. The back heel, Llorente just poked away there right at the last by John Stones. There it's only as far as Asamoah in the center. Now Morone thinking about teeing up from distance. He will, but it's comfortable for Tim Howard.
He'll go long for Tim, not a problem.
Howard, it was a decade ago this summer that he made the move from New York, New Jersey Metro Stars to Manchester United. And now, of course,
well, that makes you feel old.
The incumbent veteran at Everton. Amazing how time flies. And made the point, too, the faith and the trust that David Moyes showed in him. First of all, taking him on from what had turned into a bad situation at Manchester United, but to start him even on days, Howard said, when he wouldn't start himself, as that's offside.
I think that was a great point that when you spoke to him about that, Tim. He said, if I was a coach, I wouldn't have played me sometimes. It wasn't going well, but David Moyes, great drill as well. Well organised, arm goes up as the ball's played. I think Roberto Martinez will be pleased with his back line. They have been organised, whether it's a fullback just slotted in, through the back have handled them very well. You haven't seen Carlos Tevez, he hasn't been able to get on the ball.
And it should be again in Ogbonna in that wrestling match, and again the Juventus man wins out.
But he's already fighting him before the ball's come. You know, that's, as a young player, pick your moments, pick your areas where you want the ball.
Ogbonna now over the top. That's Vidal offside. He slips in behind Distant.
They're trying to make that deep run because they can't go from a striker. So they're trying to go from the midfield area. But again, it's well drilled. Arm goes up, Leighton Baines. As soon as he touches the ball, then he's active.
Are you surprised that we're watching Everton knock the ball around on the ground and we're watching Juventus play long balls over the top?
I think that's the style of football now that the Goodison faithful will have to get used to, which is good, it's pleasing on the eye.
As Stephen Pienaar now making the run. Baines, the overlap, the first time crosses all the way through. And Coleman is able to keep it in play on that far side. Well, that's clipping it in, and Ichibi lays it off. Pienaar just couldn't quite do anything with it. And now Asamoah as Juventus look to break.
He looks sharp, Pienaar.
Tevez just getting it away for Vidal. He's got a big run coming up the right. That's Isla Distan there first.
Like a thoroughbred, Sylvain Distin. Once he gets them legs going, you're never going to catch him.
And Ichibi's header goes for naught.
And it's good football. Leighton Baines is enjoying this freedom. I wasn't sure how it'd be, but he's probably got one of the best deliveries in the world first time. He doesn't need to take a touch. He adjusts his feet, his head's strong, arches that sweet left foot round the ball. And as a striker, you know, if a cross is coming in first time, you can make your run, you can gamble, you can take that chance. See a lot of fullbacks, a lot of wide players get in that position, take another touch. He doesn't need to.
Baines, who missed their last preseason match last weekend with a hip injury. We talk about Fellaini. It's a more specialized position, left back. How important is it for Everton to be able to keep him? I mean, how hard is it going to be for them to replace him if they have to?
It's going to be very difficult, John, no doubt. But again, I look at where is he going to go. Which of the clubs that we're talking about? Manchester United, Patrice Evra. I think he's a better fullback than Leighton Baines. Chelsea, Cole's a better fullback. There's no doubt he's in the top 5, top 6. And again, his style of football suits what Everton have been matured on going forward. And he seems down to earth fella. To go into a big club expectation, that can suffocate players sometimes. And I think more importantly, people get carried away. It's where you're enjoying playing.
Certainly enjoys it at Everton. He was the Players' Player of the Year last year, his second straight Professional Footballers Association Team of the Year. It's his 7th season now with Everton. As Juventus in the attack, clipped over. This is Fernando Llorente. Jagielka, the defender, just lost its control there. Big collision off the ball there. Referee was behind him. His linesman trying to help him out. Morales and Peluso there.
Nice little chip played in there. Jagielka does well. Just look, let the defender do your job and let the striker try and beat you. They've been at it all game, them two.
And that wasn't even what the referee whistled. That was something else he had to choose from. 6 fouls, as you see there, for Juventus halfway through the first half. It's long ball. Should be again able to hold off the defender, but can't get on the end of it. Isla on the ball. Subject of interest from Inter Milan, but Juventus saying no sale for their Chilean wingback, and the ball for him is just too far sailing in.
This is a stage of the game now as a player. Once you've got through the first 20 plus minutes, now it's about endurance. It's about pushing yourself, getting out of that comfort zone where you've done them hard works, the doggies, the sprints, the hill work. Now you can start pushing yourself.
Tevez, a couple different options being chased around, just poked away by Fellaini there. Now Gibson the other way for Kevin Morales, and a good slide tackle by Peluso. Gibson again. That was Coleman just beaten to the ball. Fellaini's been staying fairly deep tonight.
That was another point. I was speaking to a couple of people. Where's his best position? And where would you... Is he a holding midfield player? Is he an attacking midfield player? Is he a striker where he's played? It's great to be a utility player, but sooner or later you've got to define a moment.
Pinar from HB's layoff. Pinar trying to curl that one to the upper corner. That would have been something special, but it just misses.
Yeah, but Juve players are saying it's handball. I think the smile says it all. He's enjoying the game at the moment. He's picking up the second balls. He's anticipating very well, Stephen Pinar, and he's just looking to guide that into the corner.
This will be a good look here.
Play to the whistle. But he has looked sharp.
Peluso for Samoa. He's tackled off the ball. Starter for Isla. Tevez, Juventus right behind him. And Samoa now off the chest. Will spin it wide. It's going to be an awful long chase there for De Chela. Gets there, cross blocked down, and it'll be a corner kick for Juventus.
That was better by Juve. Carlos Tevez involved. A bit more slicker.
Big bodies will come forward for Juventus here. Asamoah showing short for the ball. Gives it back for Tevez. Now the in-swinger, and it's a miss from a great position. That was Luca Morone slipping in behind, but couldn't turn it on frame.
Yeah, the Juve youth player will be disappointed. It's a delightful ball played in. Anticipates very well. You just got to concentrate. Hits him actually on the shin. The shinner. Can't believe it. That is awful. Good job it's pre-season, son.
And he should be again trying to hold that ball up. Gibson bringing it down. Fellaini spraying it well wide.
When you get tired, it's concentration. This is the first thing that goes.
They're trying to cut him from the outside. Just too many yellow shirts between him and where he was trying to go.
When you see a professional player miss a ball like that, it gives us all a hope, doesn't it?
It's like seeing a golfer miss a shot, isn't it?
It's pleasing to say.
Now, what do you say? Yes, you're an ex-professional. It should make me feel much better than you.
I've never had a bad game here. Good job they can't show any tapes of my games.
Morales on the overlap now for Coleman.
It's all in black and white.
Gibson into the box and just cut off there by Asamoah. Isla now for Llorente. Now Vidal for Tevez to chase, and a foot race with Phil Jagielka. And that's going to be a foul there on Isla. Jagielka wearing the armband tonight, winning the foot race.
Well, I think there was a foul. I think Jagielka's gone down. The official's quite quick to put his flag up.
Stands long ball. Pinar, the flick. Ichibi and Ogbonna battling for this ball. Good pressure there from Baines. It's a clearance into the crowd. And the goalkeeper, Storari, the 36-year-old veteran.
They have 6 appearances last season. 3 clean sheets, is that correct?
9th team in 15 professional seasons. Kind of a journeyman backup. But if you're going to be a backup, Juventus is not a bad place to do it.
Yeah.
Tevez just getting away for Llorente. Now Samoa. Juventus starting to get a bit more comfortable, a bit more fluid. Arturo Vidal. Back for Tevez. Distant trying to get across. Does get there in time. Juventus throw down to the corner.
He timed his tackle very well. Carlos Tevez just pulling away. So Van Desten has to be strong. And sure, and he was strong as well. You've had the best opportunities when Everton are going forward, and then on the counter-attack, you've been able to get the ball forward a bit quicker into his feet, Carlos Tevez.
Tevez getting it caught in his feet there as Fellaini charged him down. Now the big Belgian charging forward for Morales. Lovely little cutback. Was just being held there, perhaps. Referee shielded from seeing that. The Chandler, they're doing enough, but Everton win it back. Baines for Fellaini. Pinar. Pinar pass 1. Fellaini back for Baines. Now Gibson across for Coleman. There's the 19-year-old Stones. Pinar pressured by Vidal. Just unable to keep it in play. We're at the half-hour mark here at AT&T Park in San Francisco. First stateside match of this year's Guinness International Champions Cup. No goals between Juventus and Everton. Everton thought they had one that was ruled out for offside, and as that goes out for a Juventus throw. How do Everton look in the first 30 minutes as you're seeing them in person under Roberto Martinez?
I like their shape. I think the 3 at the back. Leighton Baines has been able to get forward. Pinar's been able to get a lot of the ball. Fellaini's been able to close down in midfield with Gibson. I think first impressions from Roberto Martinez is thumbs up. They've done well. They've got a nice balance at the back. They've let people run on when they need to. Communication is good. And I said with Juve, I think with their experience that they have, just in the midfield area where they've wasted their ball, they've given the ball away too cheaply for me.
And again for Juventus, they've won the last 2 Serie A titles. They insist their focus is on a third, but that wouldn't necessarily be progress as Llorente battles with Distant, who plays it behind for a corner. The progress for Juve is getting another step further going out of the quarters of the Champions League this year.
One thing about this game is the defending's been good. Look at Sylvain Distant here, very strong, very competitive. You just need a little bit of cutting edge from Carlos Tevez or Llorente.
Second quarter of the match for Juventus. And again, everyone coming back to defend for Everton as Tevez will curl it in. Distant heading away, fired back in and just wide there. What an effort, Arturo Vidal. That would have been something special.
Well, his body shape was excellent. It's Distant that clears the ball away. No one really closes down. Good strike. And Machibi, sorry, clears the ball away. Good body position.
Well, with respect to the fact that it was Bayern who took them out, how do Juventus take that next step in Europe this season?
I think it's going to be very difficult because you've seen Bayern have got stronger. You've seen the likes of Real Madrid possibly getting stronger. Barcelona, stronger. I think Juve have had this mentality, a bit like an Everton. What you've got, you have to work with, you have to try and nurture. But they have got, as Keith said before the game, a rich of talent, strikers. What they've not been able to do is get a partnership that works. They keep changing them around.
Early back heel by Vidal. This is Isla now, who will drive in the cross and too close to Tim Howard. Now we're looking to go quick. Long throw out for Morales. Arbona comes across to defend him.
And I also think with Conte, his mentality is not to get beat. I think when you go to knockout stages, you've got to go to win.
Steven Pinar. Go wide now for Leighton Baines. Looks to come back for Fellaini. Gibson Anichebe holds it up, and Pienaar is poked away before he could shoot. Good defending there in the end, and he's paid the price. Man down is Arturo Vidal. Llorente chasing the other way, and beat to that ball by Jagielka. And still Arturo Vidal is down at the top of the Juventus 18-yard box, just getting caught there by Pienaar as he defended the attempted shot.
Yeah, pure accident there. Just sliding in as both players went for the ball. They'll probably give the players just a bit of chance just to catch their breath, get some fluids in, although it's a cool evening. I think the referee's handled it very well. I think Conte will be disappointed just in that midfield area, just retaining the ball a little bit better. But we see here that he's lost the footing, and yeah. Slow motion always makes it look worse as well. Because I'm saying he slipped there, but looking at that, it looks an awful tackle.
And then there's, of course, always the danger. We saw Breck Shea of Stoke get caught in a bad tackle against the Philadelphia Union.
No, that was a bad tackle. No matter how many times you see that.
And that's got to be the biggest fear for these managers. You want to play these games, you want to test your players, but you just don't want to get injured.
Yeah, no, but John, you know as well as I that you can't play any game as a player, as a coach, hoping you're not going to get injured. You just got to play. You just play through the... That's part of being a professional athlete. You play to your max.
And Vidal limping off under Conte's watchful eye.
Yeah.
Vidal was the team's player of the year last season. Third straight season he's been on his league's best 11. That goes back to when he was with Bayer Leverkusen, as well as the last 2 seasons with Juventus. And he's still off to the side. Now limping back, or coming gingerly, perhaps a better way to phrase it, onto the field. With our beyond Baines.
The problem when Steven Pienaar keeps coming deep, he's leaving Anichebe isolated. I think that's where somewhere maybe Pienaar's just got to pick his times. He's got players in there like Fellaini and Gibson that are good on the ball. You've got to trust your midfield players.
Lichtsteiner goes off for Vidal. Rolling it in for Llorente. Jagielka just getting in there, gets the arm wrapped around up high. It's just going to be a throw-in in the end.
Yeah, his touch has not been there.
Last off Vidal.
This is when the players are looking at the ref to say, how long to go? How am I doing?
Luckily, as you mentioned, heat is not an issue.
I mean, it's perfect conditions. I've played in pre-season games where it's hot, it's humid. The surface is good, as Keith rightly said. It's nice and cool.
Stones over the top, takes the bounce. Moroni now for Juventus, pressured. Anichebe is able to win the ball back. Holding off Vidal, goes down. Free kick Everton right on the edge of the area.
Well done, the big man. Good strength, good intelligence as well to cut across a defender. That's where he's at his best. The power, gets his head up and then he just cuts across. As a defender, you've either got to tackle, give away the free kick, or you let him go towards goal. This is more for Leighton Baines' area here.
We're backpacking the wall for Juventus for this.
See, if Leighton Baines now was at a bigger club, he'd be further down the pecking order. He couldn't just get on it and know that I'm going to smash this. I'm going to put this in the top corner as possible.
Marco Storari's 6'2", so he's got a pretty good frame to try to catch up to this. See, Pienaar, Morales, and Baines are over it for Everton. It'll be Baines straight to the wall. Follow-up, Headley slice there. Jagielka now trying to get involved. Asamoah defending. Baines gets back to it and wins an Everton corner.
I think that's where they've been sharper at Everton on the second ball. When there's been a ball bouncing around, it's always been a blue shirt that's won it. But it's been midfield, defending, offensive area.
And Morales, who played for Belgium against the US alongside Marouane Fellaini at the end of May. Drifting this in. Jagielka couldn't get to it. Held in by Baines. Baines cross and just didn't get the hook on it he was hoping for as it's beyond Jagielka on the far side.
Yeah, just probably 10% out there. But they know as a player, you can go in, you can take your chance, you can gamble. Just overhits it.
Let's check in with Keith Costigan, who's down on the sideline. Keith? First is it's going to be a run in here by Coleman. His shot then blocked. Well, Keith, what are you seeing down there tonight?
Well, I just talked to the Everton coaching staff. We saw Seamus Coleman getting forward there, and they're very excited about working with this young player. They feel he can develop into one of the top attacking fullbacks in the Premier League. And with Baines on the left-hand side, it gives him the perfect balance to play Roberto Martinez's favourite system of 3 at the back and wing-backs on either side, guys.
Carlos Tevez and the overlap. Isla early cross in, and Howard is there in time.
Perfect goalkeeping. Good starting position.
Morales, good cut inside. Finally stuffed. If he pulled back for a foul there, that would have been Morales cut inside. He got hit there by Peluso, and the referee pulling it back for a free kick.
I think, like Keith rightly said there with Martinez, he does like this 3 at the back, fullbacks pushing on.
A fair number of fouls for Juventus in this first half. Long switch for Pinar. Just couldn't control it off the chest. Now goes down underneath Fellaini. Space and time, electing to play direct for Tevez. Distan there with the uncontested header. Fellaini for Ichibi to chase. Right back to him. Oh, Isla steals it and takes it away. Now Samoa. Back for Isla. Llorente. Tevez. Pinar couldn't take him off the ball. And Samoa again, all the way wide now. To Chela. This cross takes a deflection for Juventus corner.
Yeah, Juve just stepping up a little bit. They're keeping their, again, fullbacks nice and wide, going from left to right, right to left, keeping the ball moving. Whenever he's getting on the ball, which is not very often, Carlos Tevez, they look a threat.
Tevez again take the corner. Heavy artillery up front for the Italians. Hit deep to the far side. Moroni back into the center. And then a free kick for Everton, and actually first card of the night coming out there. Enrico Peluso with the foul as Coleman tried to come away in the counter. Ricardo Salazar joking with our Keith Costigan before the game. He didn't even bring his red card tonight, but has shown a yellow.
Yeah, I think that's worthy as well. He tries to let the game go. He's one of them referees, as we know in the MLS. He's got a personality. They like to let the players play if possible. I don't want to speak too early, but I think he's always been good. I think he's always been decent when I've seen him.
I'll quote you on that later on tonight.
Thank you very much.
He holds it up. Bona trying to turn him now. A tangle of legs. Down they go. Free kick Everton.
It's sad how many times? Every time I get it, he's pulling me. They've earned their money tonight, these two. It's been a real battle. Good strength.
And a good free kick chance for Everton.
See, I think this is for a right footer here. There's not a lot of space between the goal line and the area where the penalty spot is.
I think it's not O'Connor who's marking an ETB on this. As Morales swings it, takes a deflection, the fall header's off the post, and the rebound is cleared away.
He was a young player as well. He's just reacting.
The 19-year-old John Stones denied a preseason goal against one of the biggest clubs in the world. Baines throw. Fellaini trying to get something on that. Moroni heads away. Llorente holds it up. Pinar almost got there. Fellaini now on the ball. That's Coleman. Takes what's given to him and goes wide. Morales. Looking on to Chela. The two number 11s there. Just puts it too far in front of him. And then deflects it out for Juventus throw.
And starts moaning again, but again, good delivery. Reacts well. Goalkeeper with no chance. Oh, what a moment that could have been for the young boy. Deflection, just trying to guide it into that far corner. Not today.
For Fellaini. Again, Everton trying to go quick, but read by Peluso to step up and take it away. Arturo Vidal. Carlos Tevez. The pass for Llorente intercepted.
He's getting frustrated, Carlos Tevez. Llorente wants him to stand. This is where you're trying to get chemistry. This is where it either clicks or it doesn't.
Evan Morales sends the cross in. Pinar was the target. All from Fellaini, just nodding it wide for Baines. Strikes it. Fellaini with his back to goal. Morales. Shot blocked down.
And a better option outside. Famous Coleman.
Peluso, who blocked it, charging all the way out. Jagielka getting there first. And it's eventually given as a Juventus throw. As we're in the final seconds of normal time in the first half, we'll see if Ricardo Salazar elects to add any stoppage time or whether he will send the teams in right at 45 minutes. As indeed he does.
There's been a good tempo to the game. There's been a good manner about the game. There's been a couple of chances. Tim Howard, I think, will be quite comfortable about his back line. So far, so good.
Marco Storaro beaten once, but offside. Another coming off the post. 45 minutes down. 45 to go in the first stateside match of the Guinness International Champions Cup here from AT&T Park in San Francisco. In front of a spirited crowd, our score, or lack thereof, Juventus 0, Everton 0.
Guinness Black Lager, be black and taste refreshing. Think about it. Iced coffee is black and has a delicious roasted flavor and refreshing taste. Iced Coca-Cola is black, also delicious and refreshing. So, why not beer? Choose Guinness Black Lager, carefully crafted with roasted dark barley. It's easy to drink and full of flavor. I think you'll agree. There's just something about black. Guinness Black Lager.
The best players the world will ever see haven't been seen yet. They're preparing from the inside. They know talent can only get them so far.